We're live. Hey guys, welcome to Junior Pro Talk. It is 2.3 podcast, season 2, podcast number 3. We missed the past 2 weeks. Forgive us, we've just been busy. But today we got some good stuff to talk about. And starting off, Emily's been gone for 14 days. Who knows? She's been gone on the road, traveling to tournaments for 14 days. So she's going to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so that was probably the longest time I've been gone for a tournament. So as you all know, I'm at college this year, and that means I'm competing at the collegiate level also, like on top of all the USA Archery events and everything. So this year was kind of a weird transition year. So they had USCA, which is an organization that has been around for a while and that all the colleges kind of participate in normally. And then USA Archery this year threw in a collegiate outdoor nationals and their whole own little thing. So this year I was able to compete at indoor nationals, regionals, and outdoor nationals for USCA and USA. So it added a couple more tournaments onto my schedule, which is great. More experience, the better. But like 2.5 weeks ago now, I left with my mom, and we drove down to Newberry, Florida, where they have the Easton Foundations and where they also hold Gator Cup. That's where they held the USCA Outdoor Nationals, and that was a crazy tournament. It's a lot hotter now than it was in Gator Cup, and it was like ridiculous being out there all day long. But it kind of threw all of us for a loop. When we showed up for practice, they had all the targets oddly arranged on the bale with like 2 underneath and 1 on top, so like a triangle format, and I've never shot that or even like seen or heard of it. And so qualification day we shot, it was A, B, C, and we all shot at the same time, and we only ran 1 line. So there was a couple people that were freaking out trying to get it changed, but it ended up working out, and it was nice. But it was crazy because we had like less room on the line, and like there was no room for scopes or anything. So it definitely made you like pay attention a little bit more. And it was hard with the heat going like one after another, but it was good. And the wind was crazy. It made me realize I need more wind practice and everything. But ended up doing all right. I qualified 3rd, got knocked out early in eliminations, and then my big goal this year was to make All-American for USCA and USA. And I made All-American for USCA, and I missed the first spot by 1 point. It's kind of insane.
Who
But
got
Brogan Williams got the first spot, so congratulations to her. She shot really well. And with the collegiate stuff, they do a 3-person team. So like I would shoot with the other 2 women compound, and we would shoot as a team kind of thing, in brackets, eliminations, and everything. But unfortunately, I was the only women compound team that went, so I didn't get to participate in that. But I got to participate in the mixed teams, which we got knocked out early, unfortunately. But I also got to shoot up as a guy. So I was able to compete in the men compounds, and that was fun. We ended up taking gold, actually, so that was awesome. It was really cool shooting with the guys, so it was kind of interesting. They looked at me a little funny. But when that tournament ended, instead of driving all the way back home because the USA Outdoor Nationals was the following weekend, me and Mom took a road trip to South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, and it was hilarious because like I drove most of the way from Florida to South Carolina. And I must have just been like really observant because every town in South Carolina and every road is so unique. Like I swear I read off like every single road we passed by. And believe it or not, one of the roads was Hoyt. It was like Hoyt Lane or something. I wish I got a picture, but we weren't stopping. But that was cool. And then from there, we stayed like 1 night there, and we drove from there to Harrisonburg, Virginia, and we shot USA Collegiate Outdoor Nationals, which they held at James Madison University. And it was an awesome tournament, probably one of the best ones I've ever been to. The venue was beautiful. We got to shoot on turf, so it was like super like flat and everything. It was great. And it was kind of down in a valley, and all around us were like mountains, and it was really, really cool. And let's see. It wasn't really windy, so that was nice compared to Florida. And my first game of the whole tournament was a personal best, so that was cool. I shot a 348, which is close to like my high score, so I was pretty pumped. And ended up qualifying first, and unfortunately got knocked out in eliminations again early, but it ended up being okay.
Who ended up like winning eliminations?
Carly Cochran. Carly qualified second behind me by like 2 points, and then ended up winning eliminations. So that was cool. And then I did not get to participate again in the female compound 3-person team because we only had 2 that time. And they didn't let me shoot up to men's for some reason. So I only got to participate in mixed teams, but we ended up getting bronze, so that was cool. And at the end of both of the tournaments, actually, they had a really like cool banquet, and USA's was like really extravagant, I guess you could say. But they passed out all the awards there, and I ended up making All-American for that, and I ended up actually taking the first spot on All-American, which was a goal that I got to achieve. But it was funny because me and Carly were back and forth, and for indoor nationals, we tied with the same score. So how they do All-American is they take your qualifying score for indoor nationals and then your qualifying score for outdoor nationals. They add them together, and then they rank you. So we tied, and then I beat her outdoor nationals, so I only got her by like 2 points, so it was kind of crazy. But it was a great banquet. They had a live band, and they had some really good food. We had to like use our manners. It was really funny. But it was a good 14 days. There was like so many lessons learned and like so many new faces. It was crazy. Like usually you go to tournaments and you like know at least like a good majority of the archers and parents and coaches and judges. And I showed up and I think I knew like, not including my team, like maybe 3 people. So it was like kind of weird, but I mean it was super cool. It was a good experience. I was so happy to come home. It was a long time being in hotel rooms.
That's sweet. Definitely a big stretch of summer, starting off summer right.
I think, let's see, how did it break down? I moved out of college on a Thursday, and then Friday, Chris had prom, so we did his little prom pictures, and then at midnight, left for NASP Nationals in Kentucky, got there at 6 in the morning and stayed that weekend, and Sunday drove back, and I think that Wednesday I left. So I haven't really been home at all.
Right. And that Saturday, we got in Kentucky at 6 o'clock. It was light outside. We went and slept for 3 hours, got up, and I shot at 11 o'clock. And then I shot 3D at 11 o'clock. And then I shot target at 2 o'clock or something like that. And then we got in the car and drove home.
Oh.
So that was pretty ballin'. For sure.
You were just there for like a couple of hours and then you left. Oh my gosh.
It was crazy.
Roy, what's the longest time you've been away from home for archery?
Last summer I was away from home for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Or not even that. 2 weeks is the longest. But actually coming up from California to after Outdoor Nationals is going to be the longest I'll be away from home. I'll leave June 19th for California, and then I come back July 19th because I'm going to go from California to Georgia and hang with George for a little bit, and then we're going to go down to Outdoor Nationals, and then I'm going to go with Montana Bell down to his house and hang out at his house for a week, and then I'm going to come back up.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll be on the road for a while.
That's going to be fun hanging down in Montana. I keep watching his dang Snapchat stories, and he's like, hey, I'm on tractor.
Yeah. Have you seen how he's like zooming in his Snapchat? Like, I have no idea how he's doing that.
Oh, when you hold your phone, you got to like do it tricky, but you zoom.
How do you...
Fun
just,
fact.
I don't know. Yeah.
There's a zoom?
You zoom.
Maybe you have to do a cool phone to do it. I still have my iPhone 4S.
Oh, maybe that's why.
The S stands for super cool, though, so...
That's cool.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What? He lives in Florida, right?
Yeah, he lives on the Florida Georgia line.
Florida Georgia line. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Cairo, Georgia. They make like maple syrup down there or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Huh, that's cool.
We're gonna catch bass and shoot snakes and
I
shoot
was gonna
boats.
say you'll probably do a lot of fishing. Roy just caught a 5-pound 14-ouncer, or 6-pounder. We'll just call it.
Yeah,
Was it yesterday?
yeah. It was yesterday. We out after school. I actually got let out early because we're doing like scheduling for next year.
Right.
And I was like, well, I might as well go to the lake. So we got out there and we were fishing for a little bit. Caught some small ones, and we went up in this shallow bay. And I cast it in there, and I was pulling the bait over some lily pads, and she just smoked it. And it was like so big, I thought it was a pike at first, a northern pike, and turns out it was just a huge bass. So that's definitely my biggest bass to date. And me and Chris were talking earlier, and that's probably gonna be the biggest bass I catch all summer. So
That it's gonna be huge. You might want to mount it if you catch a bigger one than that.
yeah.
Its back fins were all messed up. It was
Yeah,
all
the
over.
fin was like bleeding, like it had just been bit by a northern.
Oh, they were bleeding?
Yeah, they were bleeding when I pulled it out of the water.
It's because
Yeah.
they spawned. When they spawn, they bleed. That's how. Okay, so yeah, you're like prime time right now. You're in the spawn.
Yeah, it was like the back fin was like all swollen and it was bleeding.
Huh?
I don't know.
That's awesome.
Who knows? Like I think the spawn's just starting because like last week it was warm and then I caught a few and then like it was warm for like a day and it like they just started to come up and then it got cold again and it was like 50 degrees and like raining and then now this week it's 80 for the last 2 days. So I guess
Right. You're like prime
no.
time. I'd be fishing every single time.
Oh yeah.
All right. So, what's today's date? Today's date is May 28th. So looking at the schedule, next tournament we got coming up is not this weekend, but next weekend out in South Dakota at the NFAA Center. It's going to be Youth World Championships. Now this tournament only happens every other year. It doesn't happen next year or last year, but this year. 2 years ago it was in China, Wuxi, China. Not the year before that, but the year before that year, it was in Poland. And then the year before that, or 2 years before that, it was in Utah, Salt Lake City, Utah. So we actually got pretty lucky that it's in the United States, like that recent, because it was just in Utah 6 years ago. So
Yeah, I still can't wrap my head around how it's in South Dakota though. It's kind of like we were saying last time, in the middle of a cornfield.
Right. This time it's not even cornfields. It's just plain old like
Just
wheat,
field.
beans. But there are some good features. There's the Missouri River just down the road, which pretty good fishing. My yearly fishing license from NFAA Field Nationals will still be valid. So it's that's gonna be fun. And yeah, it's a small town, but it's cool. NFAA Center's there. Awesome indoor facility. You can shoot 90 meters or 10 meters if you want, but 90 meters all the way back. Really nice. Air conditioning.
Yeah, and they just put that like however $1 million into the center. So
Yeah. With 3 field courses, a 3D course. I heard for this tournament they made a new outdoor field or outdoor target field. Basically, I'm sure they poured a bunch of time into that big project, so that's probably going to be sweet for the finales and the medal matches and everything. I'm sure it's going to be a sweet facility or field or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But a lot of people from the USA are going to fly in, I believe, Thursday. I'm flying in on Sunday, the 7th, and that goes until the 14th. So we're going to have a whole week there of shooting. It's a really cool format, ran by World Archery. Hopefully, based on last tournaments, they're going to have live coverage on YouTube, which is always awesome. It really gets the sport out there, just like the World Cups, which they're in Italia right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so probably...
Oh, and Sarah Lopez had a new world record.
Right,
Yes.
which Sarah Lopez is still a junior, right?
She's 20.
She's 20, so she's still a junior. I mean,
Yeah, she'll
that's
be in South Dakota, I'm pretty sure.
that's incredible. I
Mhm.
mean, to go travel for the country of Columbia, still as a junior and shooting world records, that's crazy. And then she's going to South Dakota, so that should be cool. She'll
Mhm.
probably light it up in South Dakota. It is going to be really windy though.
Yeah. South
Right.
Dakota's always windy.
Yeah, you went to the camp last year, the NFAA youth camp.
Yeah, I did.
How's the weather like?
It's either, well, I don't know. It's kind of like Michigan and Wisconsin. One day it's raining, one day it's sunny. The next day there's a tornado. It's just never. But I don't know. I'm guessing it should be sunny with a little bit of wind. So.
Right.
I mean,
So definitely be prepared. I remember.
Me and Chris are going to the camp that they're holding this year.
Right, in August.
Oh.
That's going to be fun.
Yep.
Roy's going.
And I'm gonna bring the bow fishing boat.
Guess what I'm doing tomorrow?
You're doing that tomorrow?
Guess what I'm doing? Guess
What do you-
where I'm going?
Where are you going?
I'm going down to Ohio to go bow fishing.
Have you ever been bow fishing before?
Yeah, like on small lakes though and stuff. But I'm going to Ohio like through a guy that knows what he's doing
Oh.
with a couple people from my youth group, and it's going to be awesome.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, just fun fact of the day. What I'm doing tomorrow. I'm super pumped. All right, so we have that tournament, South Dakota, coming up, and then we also have SoCal, which this is the week after that, which is going to be what number of USAT series event is that? Is it number 5, 4? Wait, Indoor Nationals, Arizona Cup, Gator Cup, now SoCal, right?
Yeah, but for like seniors and everything, it's only the 3rd because they don't have indoor nationals count.
Right.
Mhm.
So 3rd or 4th, junior, whatever.
And it's the second half of trials for seniors for the World Championships.
You're right, which you're still in, so you're going to be shooting that, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And then just shortly after that, or I guess the next week, we go down to Alabama.
The next week?
Well, it's, yeah, SoCal is the 20th and the 21st.
Yep.
And then I guess we're driving, so we're leaving the 30th, but
Well,
yeah.
Alabama's over 4th of July, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to be like 110 degrees.
But
We're like cut off, short shorts.
that'll be cool. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to you winning those boys.
Cut off the sleeves on your white jersey.
Perfect. Hoid'll like that.
Right. That'll be fun. All right, so we're gonna talk about a helpful tip for you guys, and that's gonna be training schedules. You know, we got a lot of major tournaments coming up. You know, if you're going to them or you just have local state tournaments or whatever going on in the next couple months, because we're hitting prime time outdoor season. I mean, June, July, August. This is the outdoor season. So we're just gonna go through some tips of how we train for these tournaments and how do we practice, and hopefully it'll help you out. So Emily, what are some things, let's say, how are you going to prepare for SoCal? What's going to be running through your process? What's going to be going through your mind for that?
I guess 2 things. The other day, me and Chris shot round robins, which was hilarious because I only won 1 match, but it's
And we tied, and then you beat me in a 1-0 shoot-off.
So I guess, yeah. So I guess for SoCal, I'll probably start shooting more matches, which I never really have done before, but it made me realize that like 3 arrows versus 6 arrows at a time is really different, and the pace is really different and everything. So I'll probably start practicing like that. And another thing is I pulled out a journal to start like writing down goals again and arrows that I shoot and games and matches and all sorts of stuff. When I first started competing, a lot of coaches that I had always wanted me to why are you laughing?
Sorry, Roy's sending me messages.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyways, I always used to keep a journal with like everything I did that day and everything I worked on, and it really helped me progress. But I like stopped doing that for some reason, and I kind of realized that I'm not where I want to be in archery. I guess you could say I want more. So I was trying to think of things that like I should be doing to like achieve my goals, and I realized I am not even writing goals anymore. So I'll probably start. I have started doing that, so hopefully that starts to kick in for this outdoor season.
That's good. Roy?
Yeah. As Emily was saying with the goals thing, my dad has always been a big push for me to have goals, and with archery and everything. That's a good point. Me in preparation for a tournament, usually in the middle between tournaments after, I just go out in the yard and fling arrows. But from somewhere to a week to a couple days before an archery tournament, I'll set a routine where I blank bail, and then I shoot a full end, and then I blank bail when I'm done. So that way you start out with good form and you end with good form, and you're not messing anything up in between, like trying to just messing something up, trying to get something in the middle. You're always just ending with good form. So, I mean, something to try, I guess.
That's good. It's a good way to think about it.
Yeah.
Like shooting in the wind and everything, trying to like overcompensate or like, soften up back here. It really does mess up your original form.
Yeah, it's always good to blank bail. Definitely something good if you're trying something new. If you have a new release or something, to try it out or to get form down. Blank bailing is definitely a good tool that a lot of archers overlook. But yeah, I mean, they pretty much covered what I do. I shoot a lot right before a tournament, blank bail if I have any issues or anything. But really, I like to just shoot a lot and get your arrow counts in and really ingrain your form in your mind, so you can just do it basically in your sleep. So, yeah. All right, good points, guys. We got anything else to talk about?
Will graduated from Marines.
Oh, dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he did. I was on Instagram today, and he posted a picture. I sent him a text, but he didn't answer, so I don't know what he's doing. But
That's. Do you know what he's gonna do now? Like once he's.
I think he's got to go to like radio operator school or something like that. It's like a specialized school.
Oh, really? Well, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't think he's quite there.
What was that?
What was that? What? I didn't hear what you said.
You broke up a little bit.
Did I really?
Yeah. Are you good? Okay, just continue. All right, so that's cool for Will.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. All
right.
We good, guys?
I think you're golden.
All right, so we got a lot of stuff coming up. Make sure to check us out on social media. We'll try to keep up with our social media pages a little bit better. And we're going to try to do a next podcast next week, so make sure you keep watch for our next podcast. All right, thanks for watching, guys.